Awesome. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to our Winners Wednesday. I'm very excited for today's episode because we have one of my all-time favorite people, Miss Nikki Sorenson. Good morning.
Hey, Micah. Hey, everybody.
So you're all the way from Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, which I am completely jealous of because you guys just have an amazing community down there. How long have you lived at Lake of the Ozarks?
It's been over like 15 plus years, and it's a great spot to be in. If they think where are you guys from? You're like Missouri, and like they feel sorry for you. But then you tell them Lake of the Ozarks, if they've seen what's been going on, then they can relate. But it's a great spot to be.
That's amazing. And I was even admiring your sign, no pressure, no diamonds. So I know we're going to get a little bit into later on about the team and kind of the environment and the office that you guys have over there. But you were kind of explaining that's the mantra that you guys go by.
Yep. It's a mantra. I mean, if anybody watches this, I mean, we definitely grind, we work hard, but we play just as hard. And we just, it's just all part of it. You get out what you put in. So it's a great neon to live by.
I love it. And it's like play hard, work harder, or work hard, play harder, right? Which is so important because you just said something that's incredibly important. And we always say this is, a lot of people will have their professional goals, but they don't take time to sit down and what are my personal goals and then make sure that they're in alignment, which I think you guys just do an incredible job of really combining your personal and professional life. So for those of you that don't know the rock star that you are, I mean, you've been on like all over social media and, covers of magazines, all kinds of stuff. I see all these little clips. Let's just take a step back and give a brief background of yourself and how you originally got into real estate.
Okay. I mean, really, it's really a casual thing, right? I was approached by Swift and Clara. We were just hanging out and they're like, hey, Nikki, we really think that, you should, join our team. They were already making strides in real estate. And you're like, we think that with the group of people, in the circle that you're in, that you should be a referral agent for us. You've already sent us business, and why not get your license? That way you can be a referral agent. And then you can kind of get, paid for it. But, at that time, I already had my own property management and concierge service for like the Lakes Elite. And I didn't see myself in that role, right? In my own head, I had a stereotype of like what a agent looked like, right? And I just felt like I was just too rough around the edges for that, even though I had a background in sales. Before I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. And so I moved to the Lake 15 years ago, but I was assistant service manager for a Toyota dealership. But I loved sales, always have loved sales. And I loved the relationships that I had with my customers. So it just, I guess the winter of 2019, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to do this. And that is kind of the off season for us. It gets a little bit slower. And with my concierge clients, they would go further south, right? They would go to their other homes, or they go to Florida, or they would go away. And it was just kind of like a slow time, slow pace. But I would watch my spouse, and he was just always grinding. He's in construction and he always gives it his all. And I just wanted an easier way of life. So I'm like, if I do this real estate thing and Swift and Claire are doing good, maybe this would make, I can contribute more and it would give him an easier life. And then maybe we could do something on our own, whether it's like a flip property or just even the sales itself, it will, gravitate into something else. So basically just to better myself and for my own household is why I jumped in.
I love it. And you guys, like, as I mentioned, we're going to dive into the team, but you guys have such an amazing team. And so I love that you mentioned Mike and Clara because, having that support and the right vehicle and the right mentors is incredibly important. But it sounds like you've got a background in sales. So having that background in sales, having the background in property management, and, somewhat of real estate, what would you say has really been the key to your success? Because for only being licensed a few years, you've had an amazing track record.
But it's, I guess more than one thing. It's timing, and it's really like my gift of gab. So if you're going to be totally honest, I joined the board of realtors like in 2020. And think back, beginning of 2020 is like when COVID-19 just grenaded. I mean, it grenaded the country. And we were lucky here at the lake where we were able to stay open, right? So we're kind of waiting to see what everyone else is doing, but we're in this own little bubble and we are gearing up for a boating season. And we're like, we're just going to kind of do what we normally do. Well, Memorial Day came, and next thing you know, we are on TMZ and we are on national news, and there's a spotlight on the Lake of the Ozarks, and people just flocked here. So with me doing property management and then also being in the boating scene, I had met people from all over the U.S. It's not just mid-Missouri town, we're like St. Louis and Kansas City. It's people from all walks of life, different states that come here to hang out, vacation here, to boat, and you build these great relationships, and you have a lot of friends and connections. And with my business, people would always be like, hey, Nikki, who do I call for this? Or who do I hire for this? Because they knew I was here and they knew I was doing it, and they could trust me. And it was like, I don't know, I just already had that rapport with people. So, and I love the lake. So when it came to my clients, and even now, like I had a closing this week, and it was their first lake house, and they get so excited because they're so
It's a big deal,
know, and they're trying to find their lake happy, and then that makes me excited. And I love talking about this place and talking to people about things to do and where to go, and then you just get on that level with people, and it just comes across genuine, and you just make this connection, right? And be your true self. Everybody kind of gets in this agent role, and they're almost like a robot, and they feel like they need to look a certain way or talk a certain way. And it's like, no, be yourself, connect with those people. And then you find out what they're into and what they like. And it just creates this really good energy. And it's been great for me.
Well, I can tell you, I love that you use the word energy, because even in our conversation right now, and we're across, the U.S., totally different parts of the U.S. from one another, but I feel that energy. And that's what I think a lot of people miss, is really identifying the vibe and the energy that they're giving off, because that's 80% of it. As Tony Robbins says, it's 20% strategy, which is usually where a lot of us are just focused on the strategy, but it's 80% psychology and energy. And I can feel that from you. So that's, I'm glad that you mentioned that. That's been a big part of your success, as well as building the trust. People like knowing you and being authentic. As you mentioned, some of the traditional, old-fashioned scripts are going and asking everybody that do you know anyone to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? And that just puts such an impersonal touch, instead of adding value first and being a resource, which sounds like that's what you do.
100%. It's just, just be yourself and just be relatable to people. It's like like we always say here, it's all about the hang, right? So you're with people for like one of their most important purchases, but you spend a lot of time with those people, and you're trying to put them in the right spot where they need to be. And, they see the television and they hear from their friends, it's just a fun place, but everybody's level of fun is different, so you want to connect with them and find out what their true goal is. And that once, they're happy, then they tell their friends, and their friends tell their other friends. And it grows into this great community of people down here that we have at the lake.
I love that. And speaking of the lake, if I'm not mistaken, you guys are like just named the number one team, or, correct me if I'm wrong as far as the exact title, but you guys have an amazing, amazing team, not only a production team, but just really an in-house family and culture and sense of community. So can we talk a little bit about that, about how the team is structured, how you guys support each other and really are there as, cheerleaders in each other's growth?
Sure. So last year, 2022, we were voted best team at the lake. And then I was also voted the best agent. So that was like something to hang your hat on.
Yeah,
but we try to, you just try to back it up. Everyone looks at us right from afar, and we look so surface, right? Everyone looks a certain way, and they're all girls and they're blonde. And I can imagine how catty they are, and just, be a fly on the wall in that office, but it is legit. We've got each other's back. I mean, we are all so much alike, but we're also so different. Everyone has a strong suit and what they bring to the table. You know, I'm the old dog. I'm 10, 15 years older than even my team leads in Swift and Clara. And then there's the younger ones below me. And so
I'm gonna say you're not old though.
I feel like it sometimes, but just basically it just bring different elements to their table. You know, some people's strong suit is, you know, I'll go up to somewhere. This interview makes me feel it, like I said, it almost makes me feel uncomfortable because it's one-on-one, right? But I'll go into out somewhere and I'll talk to everyone in the room. These other gals that are on the team, you know, they're so good with social media and coming up with brainstorming with ideas. And then you've got some of them that are so good on the tech aspect of it. It's just Swift is so good at as far as finding how things lay out and with all the drones and the production, and Claire's great with the photography, and just you bring all these pieces of the puzzle together and it has just been an explosion of goodness, you know, to be in house with all these wonderful humans.
Well, and I think, you know, I always say the phrase that your ego is not your amigo. And when we can put our egos to the side and really work together as a team, identify what each other's strengths are, and then bounce off of those strengths. I know that's, you know, on a personal level, that's what Hamudi and I do. We know what each other's strengths are, and then we back off and don't get in each other's way. And that's really where the magic happens. And that's what I'm hearing is what you guys have been able to really master and identify.
We definitely have an environment here where we are encouraged to bring ideas, right? We just had a team meeting a few days ago where we brainstormed and asked, well, what do you want to do? Or what do you think? And then we just spent like an hour and a half, you know, talking with each other. And if you really listen, you know, not just listen to your clients, but if you really listen to people that are around you, and then you put forth like a path or a plan, I mean, you can conquer, you know, you can conquer it all when you're one congruent team working together.
Awesome. I love it. Speaking of Mr. Swift, I see that he's watching. So good morning, Mike. Good to see you as always. And I give a little shout out to Hannah. She said, go Nikki. So you definitely have a whole team of people cheerleading for you. So that's absolutely amazing. So you guys have your, you know, I know you have your local office, you have your local culture, but let's kind of talk about EXP. And I know that you probably joined EXP and knowing, you know, Swift and Clara and everything else, but let's talk about some of those opportunities and what attracted you to join EXP.
So, I mean, obviously they were already in it with EXP, but they wanted me to be worldly, right? Get out there, check out brokerages. So I did the whole thing. I did sit down with Keller Williams and I listened to their plan. I looked into RE/MAX. You know, RE/MAX is a large portion of a lot of the agents down here, but it just didn't seem, you know, like the right fit. EXP only made sense to me as far as the iCloud brokerage and just market sharing and just all that they give back. It's like it wasn't just the fees that are lower. It's just like they weren't in your pockets, right? It was all about having you succeed. I don't know how many times I can get in the world and I can go to my broker, Chris Cribb, and he's there. And if it's just even to like cut it up or ask a question, he's there. I know I've called on you before and I've had, you know, for someone that was looking into EXP, you are literally a text away. I mean, who has that kind of support? I mean, you're in sunny Puerto Rico, but we will always, you know, throw down to help out. So I feel like this community is built that way. And it's not bogus. I mean, it's real. And I've experienced it. And it just, where I was going to go? It's where I belonged.
I love it. And I love that they encourage you. Obviously, they encourage you not only to get into real estate, but also to explore other brokerages, because I think that's smart to always know what's out there. And then it really makes you appreciate where you're going to call home. So sure. I think that's incredibly important. Just going to give a shout out to Shannon real quick. She said, good morning. So good morning, Shannon. Hi. Thank you so much for watching. Real quick, if you guys have any questions for Nikki, I mean, you just heard she was rated #1 agent at the Lake of the Ozarks and also a part of the #1 team. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put them below. We'll try to get to them. So obviously, Nikki, you have done extremely well just in the short amount of time that you've been licensed. Where are we going to see Nikki the next few years? What are your future plans?
Well, I mean, first off, I was blessed to be with this company and then to be awarded Icon. So obviously, I want to stay on that path, right, and just keep striding. I also want to just stay resilient and always challenge myself. I mean, truthfully, when I started here, I didn't even know how to copy and paste on a laptop. I mean, it was bad. And then like last night, I was out, I was looking at properties, taking photos of new listings with my own drone, and I didn't wreck it.
Wow.
So it's just,
Yay.
with supervision, but still, it's just getting out of your comfort zone. I would like to become more technically minded because, like I said, it's not my strong suit. And with the team structure that I have, learning more about the social media aspect, because I feel like that is where real estate is going. I mean, the more eyes that are on you and on the listing, you do more justice for your sellers as far as listing itself. And that is always an ever changing world. So you need to be in the dynamics of it and figure out how it works, because they're always switching it up, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat. It sounds silly, but it has been such a huge tool for us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it's silly at all, because there's a great phrase that if you own the mind share, you own the market share. And one of the best ways you can stay top of mind, in my opinion, is utilizing social media. So I love that you guys have definitely embraced that. So with that said, whether agents are watching this live or maybe a replay and they want to reach out to you, they want to learn from you guys, maybe even join the culture that you have there locally or even on a global scale, what's the best way for people to reach out to you, Nikki?
Just definitely, I mean, our phone numbers are everywhere. Text us, message us through Facebook. We are always, we're always trying to be on it. And we just, again, reach out and just say, hey girl, what's up? Give me the nitty gritty and I'll tell you. So I think that's, again, when I was talking about as far as being rough around the edges transaction, I'm easy to talk to. I'll tell you what's up. If you're scared, I've probably been scared, or you were unsure about something. I was unsure, and just be relatable, get out there and ask us the questions that you maybe are afraid to ask. And we'll be totally upfront with you and help you, maybe see that if EXP is a great fit for you.
And actually, talking about EXP, you mentioned Icon Agent, which is a huge, huge, huge achievement for those of you that don't know. Do you mind just briefly going over what is an Icon and why that's such a big achievement?
I would even say, I think a lot of people, it was wonderful when I got it. And thank you very much for making that announcement. And then you have your tribe around you and your friends and family, as far as congratulating you on it. But I don't think people really know. But it's just basically as far as to do with, as far as your sales and as far as transactions, as far as volumes. And there's just all these different goals, right, that you have to just meet. But it's like, if you just put one step in front of the other, it's something that everybody, can do. You just get in your mindset, put it in your path. I remember when I sat down last year and you're like, are you going to go for this? And I'm like, yeah, I can do this. I didn't think I'd be here a year ago. And then last year happened and you just kept smashing the goals that you'd set, and you just got to go for it. So it's not unattainable. It's all in what you do and how you believe in yourself.
I love that. So mindset first, right? Actually, somebody texted me yesterday. They said, what is the number one key to success and being a great entrepreneur? And I said, you're going to be surprised, but it starts in your mindset. So I love when they approached you with Icon, you said, yeah, I can do it. You had the right mindset, and then everything else falls into place. When you believe in yourself, the universe is going to match that energy. And so, so Icon, obviously, it's a great accolade. It's something, once you hit a certain production level with EXP, but it's actually also the ability to earn your cap up to $16,000 back in the form of stock equity. So, I know that has been a life-changing move for many, many agents. And as you mentioned, agents that achieve this year after year after year, which I have no doubt Nikki, that we're going to see you continue to do that. So congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, 100%. Touching on where I'm sitting at right now in the office at Swift & Co. I mean, that is how my team leads, that's what they did with their stock. That's how they bought this building. And so just like we all came from the service industry, right? So it's like, no, we didn't have the big fancy as far as college education or career plan. You know, we're here, but you just live on your strong suits and connecting with people. And it's just amazing what you can achieve when you set out with each other.
I love that. And I love that you mentioned that, because that's incredibly important. Somebody asked me, this was years ago, they were like, why would you be a part of a real estate brokerage that, you know, is virtual and doesn't own any real estate? And I said, here's the difference. Because EXP gives money back to the agents, they give ownership back to the agents. You're renting at your brokerage. Our agents have the ability to be owners. And now those agents in turn are able to create their own legacy and invest back. And point in case, you just said that they purchased that office building for their team from some of the money that they have previously made by
That's huge. Who would have thought that in just a small amount? Who would have thought it would be here in a small amount of time? But I mean, EXP makes it, you know, possible. So I never saw myself here, but I am 150% glad I am.
Well, we're glad you're here too. So thank you so much, Nikki. You did amazing. I really appreciate a lot of great nuggets. And so I definitely encourage any agent that's watching this, please reach out to Nikki. She is just a wealth of knowledge. As you can see, she's very smart. She's a great agent, as well as has an amazing energy. So definitely highly recommend you reach out to her and connect and see how she can help you grow as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time today.
For everything. Have fun in Puerto Rico.
I will. Thanks. I'll see you.